Alright, Glovers. Excuse me. I've got a '04 Dodge Ram 2500 here. It's got a fuel level high circuit code. As you can see here, it was fixed, and then I found the problem. I'm wiggling this connector here by the driver's side. I have not figured out what exactly is the problem yet, but I'll prove it to you. See if I can get it to happen. Yep, here you go. And I'm not even not really wiggling the connector. I'm just moving it around. So I think this is a broken wire, but I'll find out further and then I'll show you. So I haven't looked up theory and operation yet, but here is the wiring diagram as it is, and we have a splice there, so these are all shared. This is a temperature sensor, that should be 5 volts. At least that's what I'm getting, I guess. And dark blue with a white stripe is the sensor signal. Going back, because right here, this is the battery temperature sensor, and that is the battery temp sense signal. Right now on back road, I've got 10.9 battery voltage. This must be supplied battery voltage or something. I haven't looked up theory and operation yet. Tisk on me. That doesn't really matter. You can see it says 5 volts because that's as high as the scale goes. So I'll do some more of the wiggling. Try and get it back to fixed. So you can see what it was fixed. There we go. 2.9, 5.93 volts. I'm kind of getting mixed signals of how this system works. It doesn't really matter at this time because it has a broken wire, but let me see if I can find something for you so you guys can understand it better, and maybe I'll understand it better. Alright, I just popped in Identifix. This is the exact code that I have, the 463 code, I believe. Circuit high code, yep. Fuel level sensor 1 high. Just so you know, I'm telling you to unplug it at the sending unit. Obviously I didn't do that. I came over here and started jiggling some stuff, and I could see that it was broke. Mostly because it was stuck high before, and then when I pulled it in, it wasn't. So I didn't want to make sure I could break it before I even tried touching that stuff. But just so you know how, there should be over 5 volts, approximately 10. That is coming straight from the instrument cluster. And then it tells you to check resistance because this is all a resistance circuit. I'm going to do some poking here and visual inspection and maybe some tug tests. Maybe look inside the connector and see if I can find anything, and then I'll show you when I have you updated. You can see that this is a prime vehicle, prime New England vehicle. So, all right, back from lunch. I do understand the circuit a little more. I'm not sure that this wiring diagram is correct. It tells me that a 10 volt supply is coming in on this dark blue green wire, and then going back to the PCM on this dark blue white wire. See here, goes right back. It's already wrong because this connector is not on here, so that's for nothing. It tells me that the instrument panel is what's at least the service info. It says right here, fuel pump module, where is it? Right here, the instrument cluster part. There should be 5 volts, over 5 volts, approximately 10 volts on the wire coming from the instrument cluster, which is supposed to be this wire. So 26 and 27, let's follow it. 26, 27. They splice here. Sorry about that. Those splice and go all up here, and one goes to the MAF sensor, which makes me feel like it's a 5 volt circuit because those should all be running on 5 volts, but I didn't unplug any of them to figure it out. 20 and 22. 3133. 3133. That one goes to a temp sensor. The other one goes to the VCM, is what it says. So I'm not sure. I got something weird here. These are all the right years. 04 Durango, 05, 06. So we're on a 04. So I don't know. Something's not right here, but right now I'm plugged into the back side. This is the side going there. I'm basically checking the connector for pin fitment issues. And you can see, I'll bring this back up too. As I wiggle this, I get, oh, I broke it and I can't fix it. So right there, now it's at 6 volts, which is still too high. And then I touch it, and all I'm doing is doing this. I don't really see why. I've not yet figured out why this is like this. So I'm gonna do a little more digging. I did notice that there is some, I don't know if you can see it, there's some meltiness here. And I would assume that's because whoever had to take this bolt out needed some heat. I don't think that was us. I think that was like that before I came here. But I'm gonna do some digging and hopefully I'll figure it out and get back to you. Alright, only a few seconds later, all I did was unplug it. And the white with blue stripe is at 10 volts near battery voltage. So let's go back to our fuel level sensor. Even though we know this wiring diagram is wrong. And so there's 10 volts going to the fuel level sensor. I'm going to get something to short this to ground and see what it does to my stuff. Alright, so I've got still unplugged. That wire should be just going to the ECM. I just got a test light here hooked up to ground. And I'm going to touch here. You can see it pulls it down over there as well. Not all the way because it's test light and there's some sort of voltage drop, but I would say that wire is good. I am going to try and hook it up. No, I'm not going to be able to balance this and do all this one-handed. Okay. You're in there. You're down now. Okay, cool. So let's wiggle this. I care more about this, see? Yeah. I don't really care too much about what this says because my back probe might be screwing me here. Just want to wiggle this. Actually, now that I said that, I'm going to front probe it because if my back probe is making bad contact, this same thing will happen where it'll go to 5 volts and come down. Okay, I readjusted. I put a front probe in there so I don't have to worry about that because I'm pulling it down here, so I don't want to get any false readings from wiggling the back probe. And more and more I wiggle it, it does not do anything. I'm going to put it back where it came from, try and simulate an issue, and I got nothing. You know what? Now that I'm talking about it, I think I just realized what's wrong here. Yeah, stupid. All of those wires hook up to what says sensor ground, so I don't know why I missed that the first time around. I'll leave that in for you guys to laugh. But this dark blue wire that comes to all of these is sensor ground. These other must be the 5 volts. I don't know why I got crossed up there. But the wiregram's still wrong. Doesn't show the connector here. But the dark blue white supplies a voltage out and then it grounds it on that circuit. Just like most circuits. So I think the wire colors here must be, yeah, well, it's probably because of different car, dark blue, yellow. Maybe in the other cars it's dark blue, yellow instead of dark blue, white, but I think I just assumed that he was talking about this dark blue, dark green with a dark green stripe. Yeah, so I'm gonna dig a little bit more and see if I can't figure out where this problem is, and then I'll get back to you. So after I took apart that connector and I put it back together, I went and I pierced this one, the white wire that we were on, just because I didn't want to make sure there was no connection issues. And I'm wiggling and I'm wiggling and I can't get nothing to happen here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Alright. So I'm going to move over to the other side. So this is the white wire coming from the tank. Let's keep track of what we're doing here. So at this point back, got 10 volts. So let's see, white wire. So this connector has to be good by the wiring diagram, because it's sending, the PCM sending out 10 volts this way to the fuel sender, which is then pulling it to ground. Okay. You know what? It still might be wrong, because the ground wire is also part of this nonsense here. All that tells me is that the 10 volts is making it here, so it's not a pin fitment issue on this particular wire, maybe on this one. Chevy, Chrysler and their grounds, they love grounds. Up like this, it don't like it. Don't like it like that. That's where I can make it happen, capping. It's good now. Now I'm at 10. So you will have high voltage if there is a bad ground. So what I'm going to do now, which I should have done quite a few minutes ago, is unplug both of these, pull them out over here where I can see them, and inspect the wires. And then I'll show you that. Alright, I have done touched this too much, and now it is no longer screwing up here for me. Trying to fondle the connector. I did a pin drag test and they were making contact. Well, one of them was making a little less contact, but now I can't. I have done touched it too much. So I don't think it's up there, because moving this should do it. I don't think it's anything right at the connector. You would assume wiggling it like this, and like that, and like this, and like that, and like this would make something happen, but I got nothing here. So I'm going to have to go with, it was a pin fitment issue. I have tugged really hard on both sides wires in both directions. It's not broken right at the connector. You should be able to tug on them pretty hard. Both the blue and green stripe and the blue and white stripe. I can tug on them all day and I got nothing. Anyone worried about how hard I'm tugging? The tensile strength on these should easily be able to hold on. You know? Nothing, no changes. No changes up here. I've inspected all the wiring. Up to this, I'm actually gonna, when I disassemble it, because I'm gonna have to take this out and spread the pins apart. And when I do that, I'll make sure that right at this Christmas tree fastener, it is not broken or something, but when I did my tug test, it should have broke if that was the case, so I don't think it will be. But yeah, So don't diag just because it codes. Just because you have a intermittent fuel level sensor code does not mean that something's wrong with the fuel level sensor at all. As you can see here, because the problem is definitely here. I could wiggle these wires and I could make it mess up. Tip to the wise, what I should have done for getting it out of that state of where I could make it happen. I should have inspected the ground wire right next to it. Would have gave me more info. But one thing for certain, since that ground is shared and I don't have any codes for the map sensor or any of the other sensors that are on that circuit, the ground's probably good, at least to this point, to the other sensors. You know, there might be a broken wire or something here to here, but not in the rest of the system, so less likely. But yeah, if you liked the video, subscribe. If not, have a great day. Alright, I guess I'll just show you guys how to do this. If you want to depind a connector, you need to take this part in my hand out of, just sent that on the ground, out of here, so you can get access to the little pins in there. These little plastic pins. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it on camera on the top here. Readjust. You can see that little piece of plastic. It snaps into this thing right here, this cavity, and holds it in. So you need to pry it up and pull on the wire and it'll pop it out. I recommend doing them one at a time, or you could just cut the wires and go right around it with the butt connector if you're not confident in your skills to do that. I'm doing it because there's a bunch of other wires here and I'm going to do it to them all just to prevent any issues in the future. But if you didn't know, now you know.